Tear gas and water cannons fired against protesting university students once again. Vimal Veeravansa questions whether the criticism of the Auditor General's report on public debt was a sinister ploy.
විගණකාධිපතිව ගෙනල්ලා බය කරන්න. මොකද රජුන මහේන්ද්‍රන් ගැන දැන් පරීක්ෂණය කෙරෙන්නේ විගණකාධිපති දෙපාර්තමේන්තුවේ.
Right to Information Bill debated in Parliament. Government to offer cancer patients unlimited funding to seek medical remedies. Purported report compiled by former chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board regarding public representatives involved in drug rackets missing. Will the United Kingdom leave the EU? Britons head to the decisive Brexit polls.
A very good evening to you. Welcome to Primetime News, coming to you live and direct from the Newsfirst studios here in Colombo. I'm Bernadine Jai Singha.
Well, hello there. Very good evening to all our viewers. I'm Jolad Spoon. Let's start off tonight with a developing story. Well, tear gas was fired at a protest organized by university students this evening. The protest march commenced from the Jawaharlal University this evening against the private medical college in Malabar. The protesters also cited several other demands. The protesters marched along the high-level road and made their way to Kolpiti along the Gaul Road. Tear gas was fired with the protesters as they attempted to break through the barricades and march forward.
An accident occurred in the Balepana area in Galigamo along the Colombo-Kandy main road, killing 4 individuals.
The accident took place when a bus travelling from Colombo to Mavanala collided with a van and a car travelling in the opposite direction this afternoon. The van had been travelling on the wrong lane leading to the accident. The police stated that 9 people have been injured in the accident and have been admitted to the Kegol General Hospital. The police added that 7 out of the 9 injured have suffered serious injuries. The National Freedom Front notes that there is an ulterior motive behind the criticism levelled at the Auditor General for revealing details about public debt. Chief Opposition Whip Anura Kumara Dissanayake questioned in Parliament yesterday how the borrowing limit of the government was raised to rupees 3,349 billion in a backdrop where the Auditor General has revealed that the approved debt for last year stood at 1,780 billion rupees. Responding to the question, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Finance criticised the actions of the Auditor General. Following the government responses, MP Anura Kumara proposed that the Auditor General be summoned before the Parliamentary Finance Committee. You witnessed a good drama in Parliament yesterday. Even I raised the same question that was raised by Anura Dissanayake in Parliament yesterday. The Finance Minister did not respond to my query. Loans have been obtained exceeding the amount that was approved by Parliament for the year 2015. The Finance Minister in reply to this says that he will provide an answer the following day. What does he tell the next day? He betrays the Auditor General. It is said that there is an overstatement because the sum was calculated erroneously. The Prime Minister also scolded the Auditor General. After listening to all this, what is Dil Kumara saying? He is saying that the Auditor General and the staff be questioned before the committee headed by Sumandiran. This is what both of them wanted. Why is the Auditor General being intimidated? What is the reason? The investigation pertaining to the Governor of the Central Bank and the bond scandal is being carried out by the Auditor General's department. The report is to be produced before COPE in a few days. If the true report is submitted, Arjun Mahendran and his best friend Ranil Wickramasinghe will be exposed.
රෙජි ගැලවෙන අර්ජුන මහේන්ද්‍රන්ගේ ගජමිතුරා රනිල් වික්‍රමසිංහගේ.
So before this report is produced, the Auditor General needs to be intimidated. For that to happen, he needs to be brought before a parliamentary committee. For that, the background must be created. For the background to be created, Dil Kumaro needs to raise the questions and the suggestions need to be made for the Auditor General and his staff to be questioned.
ගෙන්න ගන්න ඕන. එහෙමනම් විගණකාධිපතිතුමා නිලධාරීන් ගෙන්නලා ප්‍රශ්න කරන්න. කොහොමද වෙන්නේ?
The Auditor General joined News First for an exclusive interview today.
Auditor General, is there a disparity in the amount of loans that were approved by the Parliament and the amount you note in your report? Can you explain this disparity to the public?
මේ ඇතිවිලා තියෙන වෙනස මහ ජනතාවට තේරෙන්න කිව්වොත් මොකක්ද ඇත්තටම වෙලා තියෙන්නේ?
පාර්ලිමේන්තුව What is more important, rather than whether the Parliament knew about this or not, is whether loans of this nature are available or not. Loans of this nature are there. The opinion of the Auditor General is that the question has arisen because these loans haven't been recorded in total, even though it was reported in certain places.
තිබුණත් මේ සමස්තයක් වශයෙන් වාර්තා නොවීම පිළිබඳව ප්‍රශ්නයක් තමයි මෙතන තියෙන්නේ කියන එකයි තමයි විගණකාධිපතිගේ මතය.
මේ මේතක ඉඳලා
The bond transaction and the central bank is being discussed at present. As the Auditor General, you will have to compile a report regarding this as well in the future.
I will execute the orders issued to me by Parliament.
Will the need arise to conduct an audit investigation regarding the central bank transaction?
That is being carried out. The report is being compiled at present.
You are certain in saying that you have no political pressure?
Even if I have political pressure, I will not care about it. I do not have the necessity to care about them. I will carry out my duties independently.
The Anti-Corruption Front staged a Satyagraha campaign today, calling on authorities not to extend the term of the Governor of the Central Bank.
The Satyagraha campaign, which commenced this afternoon opposite the Colombo Fort railway station, was led by Venerable Ulapane Sumangalathera, the convener of the Anti-Corruption Front. The demonstrators demanded that the government not to extend the term of the central bank governor, which is due to expire on the 30th of this month, and that investigations be carried out into corruption accusations against the governor.
Today, the Prime Minister is shamelessly protecting the central bank governor using certain ministers who are loyal to him. Given that public protest has grown to a level where he can no longer be saved, they are now attempting to hoax to rescue him temporarily. We will not be satisfied by his mere removal. We call on the government to prevent him from leaving the country after the 30th and that he be detained so that justice can be served to the people of this country.
The Right Information Bill was taken up for debate in Parliament today.
No government will be able to conceal information in the future. This gives not only the select committees but also the general public the right to obtain information. I believe that 4,000 officers have been identified so far to implement this.
Chandra Jayaratne has addressed a letter to the central bank on the 19th of April seeking information on central bank bond issuances from about 4 or 5 months back. Before this bill has even been adopted, the Secretary of the Monetary Board and the Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, on the basis of a bill that was only in draft form, refused to provide this information. If you are attempting to cover up such incidents through these sections of the bill, I do not think that is what the people are hoping for.
Past leaders have questioned why you need an act in order to obtain information. Leaders of that era acted in a manner where they said, if you want to know about anything, then ask me. I wish to know that this is a major victory for the people that has been won through the Maitri Ranil government. This is for the general public and I'm happy that we are able to introduce this bill on the birthday of our late President Ranasinghe Premadasa and that we will be able to adopt it the day after.
I have problems with certain sections. I take issue with the fact that as per section 38, institutions under the Public Service Commission have been exempted. I can see that this presents an obstacle to securing such information. Therefore, I wish to say that these matters require amendments. We saw what happened when media organizations and journalists volunteered to submit information. Journalists like Sanat Balasuriya and Poddala Jayantha had to flee their motherland and go abroad as refugees. We saw what happened to Eknaligoda. We saw how Lasantha Wickramatunge was murdered on the street. We know how the Sirasa media network was bombed. To date, this company has not received insurance payments amounting to 300 million. As a country that has come through such an era, as a country that is progressing with technology, the Right to Information Bill is a necessity.
Revelation of information should not result in harm to the public interest, but at the same time, the immense good to the public interest that results from revelation of information must not be sacrificed. Institutions established under this law have a very responsible task. One can only hope that in this country's interest, this law will be fearlessly and impartially implemented by the institutions responsible for the implementation of this law. Consequently, the people of this country would be able to realize good governance, clean governance, transparent governance, and this country would be set on a different course.
An individual was killed following a shooting that took place in close proximity to the Mahara Magistrates Court complex.
The individual who was shot at was identified as Suresh Asanka Silva. The deceased arrived at the location to appear before the Wattala Magistrates Court in connection to a heroin racket. A group of people who were in a vehicle that was parked in front of the victim's car opened fire when the victim, his wife and sister got into his vehicle after court proceedings concluded.
There were 3 or 4 people. 3 people who had their faces covered opened fire. In the past, even our uncles were killed, but nothing was done about it. We were hiding in fear of lives. I was shot at too. I bent over. They shot at the child. My sister held the child underneath.
11 T-56 rifle bullet casings and 4 bullet casings of a 9mm handgun was discovered at the scene of the crime. 39-year-old Suresh Asanka, a father of 2, had already passed away when he was admitted to the Ragama hospital. A resident of Ratmalana, the victim had been in hiding for an extended period of time in the Ragam area along with his wife. The police also noted that charges relating to drugs have been levelled against him.
Chairman of the National Dangerous Drugs Control Board, Professor Ravindra Fernandez, says that the list containing details of public representatives who are involved in drug rackets has gone missing. This was revealed during a media briefing convened today at the Government Information Department.
Unfortunately, the former chairman has not given this document to anyone else. He has not given it to the officials in the institute, the ministry, its secretary, the minister or the president. We checked the data at our institute. We cannot find it there as well.
Statistics pertaining to drug addicts in the country were also revealed at the press briefing.
If you look at alcohol consumption in the country, there is a declining trend. If you look at the number of individuals who smoke, that does not seem to decline. The main problem in our country is the use of heroin and cannabis. According to our statistics, there are between 45,000 to 50,000 heroin addicts, while there are close to 200,000 cannabis users. Close to 1,000 or 2,000 people become new addicts.
And in news from courts this evening, former DIG Anura Senanayake and the former OIC of the traffic branch of the Narayanpeta police, who were arrested over the murder of Wasim Tajuddin, were further remanded today.
The case pertaining to the murder of rugby player Wasim Tajuddin was once again taken up before Additional Magistrate Nishant Paris. The Attorney General informed court that the CCTV footage has now been directed to the Columbia Institute of Technology in Canada, and the results of the investigations will be presented to courts by the first week of August. Lawyers representing former DIG Anura Senanayake requested court to grant him bail as he suffers from heart disease and post-symptoms of cancer. However, the additional magistrate turned down the result and further remanded the duo until the 7th of next month.
Former President Mahinda Rajapaksa arrived at the Valikada prison complex this morning and met with Udayagam Mampila and Mohammad Muzammil. The parliamentarian expressed his views to the following media following the meeting.
You can imprison politicians, but you cannot imprison public opinion. Very soon you will be able to see the stance of the public.
There are rumors that members of the joint opposition will join the government. They say they will join today or tomorrow. What is going to happen?
No one will join the government. The joint opposition will remain the way it is.
Isn't the new party ready yet?
Wait for the time to come.
Will it take more time?
Keep a track of the time. After all, we are all SLF peers. Opposition MPs informed Parliament today that Deputy Minister Ranjan Ramanayake was engaging in a target practice at the Madivale Parliamentary Housing Complex.
He has transformed the Madivale Housing Complex into a filming location. That is the problem.
I received a call from the police. We reside there with our families. There's a large number of people residing in here. So I called and informed the General Secretary to stop this.
උදේවරුවේ මාදිවල අපේ රංජන් රාමනායක නියෝජ්‍යමතුමා මං හිතන්නේ චිත්‍රපටි වැඩසටහනක් සඳහා මේ මට පිළිතුරු දෙන්නකෝ අවස්ථාව දෙන්න මෙහෙම පුහුණුවීමක් යනවා කියලා මට දිනේෂ්
Parliamentarians Dinesh Gunawardena and Bandula Gunawardena informed me that something of this nature is taking place. I called and informed him to stop this. I told him that if he wants to practice, he can go to the Rathpalana shooting range. You should be knowing the locations of more shooting ranges. Was Lasantha Vikramatunga shot dead at a shooting range? If required, we can extend this facility to you as well. MP Mahindananda Alutgamage, this opportunity can be given to you as well.
අපි වමනා නම් අවස්ථාව දෙන්නම් පොලිසිය වෙඩිපිටිය පුහුණු කරගන්න ඊට ඕන නම් අපේ මහින්දානන්ද අලුත්ගමගේ මන්ත්‍රීතුමාටත් ඒ අවස්ථාව දෙන්නම් ඒ වගේම
I wish to ask the Prime Minister if anyone has been given permission to discharge firearms at the Parliamentary Housing Complex.
ඉන්න නිවාසවල අතවසම මේ වගේ වෙඩි සංදර්ශන තියන්න හැකියාවක් ලැබුණේ කවුරුත් අවසර දීලා තියෙනවාද කියලා මම ගරු අග්‍රාමාත්‍යතුමාගෙන්
Permission was not obtained from us. I do not anyway have the authority to grant permission. Even if permission was obtained, I ask that it be stopped.
The United National Party launched a membership promotion campaign today which aims to use modern technology to attract new members and for propaganda work.
The UNP app was launched at the party headquarters, Sirikatha, today under the patronage of the party leader Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. Users can obtain information on party activities using mobile devices and will also be able to obtain membership of the United National Party. The new electronic membership card was also launched today. This is only the beginning. We will be changing the party in the next 5 months. You will be able to maintain contact with Sirikotha using your mobile phones. We will also be experimenting with social media branches. There is a new generation waiting to take over the party. This is the youth. Come join us and take charge of the party. Our work is coming to an end. The Prime Minister also spoke on the government's housing program. We selected today because it is President Ranasinghe Premadasa's birthday. Remember, President Ranasinghe Premadasa, take his work forward. We have decided to build 500,000 homes across the country in order to do this.
The
Sampath Gama Model Village was declared open today under the auspices of Sajid Premadasa, the Minister of Housing and Construction.
This is the 7th model village to be declared open under the present government.
The Sampadagama Model Village was declared open today in line with National Housing Day, which also marks the birthday of late President Ranasinghe Premadasa. The model village, located in Yodakandiya in Tissamaharama, comprises of 25 homes. 230 land deeds were presented today, while 500 individuals received concessionary housing loans. 100 students were also recruited to receive vocational training in construction. A mobile community welfare service providing health services and NIC registration was also held parallel to the event. Ranasinghe Premadasa's legacy is the concept of development. It is his vision. There are still individuals who are trying to tap the sand dune in Magama in the name of patriotism. A group of officials had gone to revitalize the corrupt plan to sell the sand dunes that was afoot during the previous government. The President and the Prime Minister of the Good Governance government obtained a written order stating that no one will be allowed to touch this sand dune that is in the Hambantota district as long as this government is in power.
The government has decided to withdraw the 1.5 million rupees that it had allocated for cancer patients and instead offer the patients unlimited funding to seek medical remedies. According to the Minister of Health, Minister Rajitha Senaratne has instructed the Secretary to the Health Ministry and the Director General of Health Services in this regard. The Health Ministry says that discussions will be held in collaboration with the Treasury to allocate money to finance this cause.
The National Olympic Day celebration was held in Galle today, parallel to International Olympic Day. An art competition intended to create awareness among children on the Olympics was held this morning at Mahinda College in Galle with the participation of students from surrounding schools. More than 1,000 children from surrounding schools participated in the Olympic Day run, which commenced at the Samnala grounds. International Olympic Day was celebrated the world over today.
Back to one of our initiatives. Have the expectations of the fishing community in Mirajuwala Hambantota been met? What did the farmers in Thinaman Kadavala, Polonnaruwa vote for? Were the people of Wankale in Mana deprived of their ancestral lands by their own public representatives? This is the time to think again.
Think again. Is your vote working for you?
Giving the myriad of problems they are facing today, people who gave deep thought before going to the polling booth are being made to rethink their decisions. The villages of Thinamankhara in Parakumpura, Polonnaruwa exercised their franchise expecting the necessary support to recommence their cultivations which were destroyed by Mother Nature in one fell swoop.
They say they can only work according to the funds that are allocated. It cost about 4 million rupees to remove the excess soil from the paddy fields. The same thing happened in 2014. They have no consideration for the harm this is causing to people's lives.
When
they came here canvassing for votes, we highlighted these issues. They said they would rebuild it, but that has not happened. We feel like killing ourselves. We have been hungry for 4 harvest seasons without a single grain of rice.
Considering all of
TV1 News First, main sponsor.